Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Mafex number 195 by Medicom Toy, the Avengers Endgame Iron Man Mark 85 Battle Damage version. This one's a little bit of a special one. I don't have a whole lot of Mafex figures. In fact, the only ones I have are Spider-Man ones. I have some of the comic ones, and then I do have all of the MCU Spider-Man ones. So there's been a few. I have the upgraded suit. I have I think they did the stealth suit, right, from Far From Home. They didn't do any No Way Home figures, although Tobey Maguire finally has been announced. But I also have this Avengers Endgame Iron Spider version, so I will do a comparison with this guy so we can take a look. But this review is actually brought to you by Big Bad Toy Store. They actually sent this one out to me so I could review for you guys, and I'm quite excited about it. It's an MCU figure. I'm the MCU guy, so it works out perfectly. So here we take a look at what is going to be in the package there. Looking at that Iron Man, again, final battle version, so you can see he's all kinds of battle damage and everything. We get a bunch of different looks at the back of the package. So we get 3 different head sculpts. It looks like we get 2 battle damage Tony Stark RDJ heads, and then we get the helmeted design, and then we get a whole interchangeable arm, and then we have the snap finger, which is pretty cool. So obviously we can get him in the pose at the end, the I am Iron Man pose. So very excited about that. They've released quite a few MCU figures, so this is my first time kind of jumping in outside of Spider-Man. Like the Captain America, the Winter Soldier stealth suit Captain America just dropped, and they just got the Winter Soldier Bucky Barnes from Captain America, the Winter Soldier. They just got those in stock, so I'll have a link in the video description below to all the Mafex Marvel Avengers figures, or the MCU figures, so you guys can pick up what you like at BigBadToyStore.com. So again, big shout out and thank you to BBTS, BigBadToyStore.com. Link in the video description below for this particular Iron Man figure, as well as the other MCU Mafex figures, because there are some good ones for sure. So I'm going to start off here so we can take a look and see how I like it, and I'm scared I'm really going to like it, and then I'm going to want to get them all, which could be the case, but we'll see. Let's get into it. Let's check out Iron Man. Okay, so here is the Iron Man Mark 85 Battle Damage Mafex number 195 figure out of the package, and my god, this thing is nice. Holy moly. Like, Mafex always had it in terms of, like, articulation. Yeah, the details and things were there, but there wasn't anything super crazy, because I only looked at, the Spider-Man figures, the comic figures, and Iron Spider. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of details that they really could have put in it. Yes, it was, like, movie accurate and all of that, but like the battle damage, so all the damage to his suit, like the cuts and scrapes and dents and nicks and all of that, burn marks and everything like that, added on to this figure is pretty insane. Like, it's done really nice. And one thing that I was really shocked about, because Mafex could not do a Tom Hiddleston head sculpt to save anyone's life. Like, they're bad, real bad. But Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, they nailed it. Nailed it. I'm completely shocked. I'm completely surprised. But it is awesome and amazing. So let's get in for a closer look at all of the details and the damage of the suit, the RDJ head, everything like that, because it's pretty incredible. Let's take a look. So there we go. Taking a look at it. Just look at that. That is Robert Downey Jr. perfectly right there, right? That looks so good. But beyond the head sculpt, yes, it's really good, and yes, there's 2 of them, but the 2 are very, very similar. It's kind of crazy, and I don't know if one's supposed to be pre-snap, post-snap, but there's a little bit more blood on this one. Like, if you look here on the forehead, there's a darker blood spot, and then like each little damaged area is a little bit more than the other. And then he's got more of a bruise there on his head. It wouldn't really be post-snap, but they're so similar, like, it's kind of weird, and it almost looks like it's the start of, like, kind of the burned out process. So it's kind of weird. Like, at first I'm like, why do they even bother making the 2 that are so similar? I'm not really sure, but they did. So I'm going to go ahead and swap out that head now. Very easy to swap out. As you can see, you just kind of pull on it a little bit and then just pop it on there. And you have it on there like so. So that is pretty good. Again, it's a little bit bloodier, nothing too crazy, but we have it on there. But we do get the full helmeted piece. He actually comes with a different neck piece on there. It's not really battle damage, other than there's a little bit of a gash right there, some scratches in the head sculpt, and then a couple of dents like in the back right there and up there. Otherwise, it's pretty intact, while the rest of the figure is just crazy battle damage. And if you look, the details are just insane. Like, each area is really charred and it's all like chewed up and broken and scraped and scratched and just like peeled off. Just crazy stuff. And like even on the back, you got some battle damage going on, even in the paint and in the sculpt work. Like some of it could be just paint, but they just put like little nicks and scratches and scuffs in the sculpt. Like look at this big old gash there on the back of the leg. Just the details are just insanely good. I'm just telling, like, it's just so good. I can't get over how good it looks, especially like here in this upper torso and everything, and then in the shoulders too. Like the shoulder pads even get it. It's just crazy. Oh man, it's just nuts. And then this particular hand. So this is a separate arm actually, because you can separate the hand, and then the hand itself, you actually do get a separate piece there as well. So we have the snapping finger. And then you have the hand where he like reveals. So he's got the Infinity Stones in there, like he's looking at Thanos like, haha, got him. So that is pretty cool. Just an awesome piece. A lot more battle damage actually in that arm because of the Infinity Stones. So if you look, the arm itself isn't nearly as battle damaged, the regular one. And it's very easy. You just pull it at the elbow. And it just comes off, and then you can put that arm back in there. And again, it's not very battle damaged, which is cool. Like the other one on the left isn't a whole lot. You just kind of get some burn marks kind of in the paint and whatnot. But this one holds up pretty together. There's a little bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. But man, just look at the whole, like even the leg. It's just crazy details going on with it. So that is just so cool. I love what they did. But along with that, let's see how he moves, and I think it's going to be pretty damn good. Okay, so Mafex or Mafex, I'm not really sure what is the correct pronunciation or not. But anyway, he can look up a little bit. The head, again, is just kind of on that separate neck piece, but the neck kind of moves around. There's a little bit of gap, so that's kind of unfortunate, but that's how you're going to be able to get him to look up or down. You can do some pivot in the neck, which is good. You can turn the neck side by side as well. You can get the arm to go straight on out like so. Full rotation in there. There is a little bit of movement in that shoulder pad there as well. You got an upper bicep swivel, double jointed pinless. I just stick to Marvel Legends type stuff. So Mafex is always pinless, but double jointed elbow, that gives you that much bend there. That is quite nice. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge, ball joint hinge at the wrist, so you'll be able to get it to swivel and hinge whichever way you really want it to move. So that is pretty good. We get some extra hands in there, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So you get an upper torso that moves around. It's got a little bit of give going side by side, but more at that lower waist part, you can actually really get him to tilt to his to the side. So tilting to the left, tilting to the right, all the way. Just crazy good movement. Going back isn't a crazy amount, but it's a very natural looking amount, if that makes sense. Big old guy in a metal suit shouldn't be able to lean back super far, so it makes sense. Now coming forward, not a whole lot, but also again, a guy in a big metal suit, like how much forward could he realistically move, right? So that really makes sense. You get a swivel at that waist. The upper torso also swivels a little bit, but you want to really use them kind of together. Let's see, there is a drop down hip, so like the hips all the way up in that position, and then you can drop them down to that position there. But when you get it, you can do the splits that much. I kind of pulled that leg out of that joint, so be careful with that. Mafex figures, they tend to do that, but then you can pop them back in together, no problem. Kicking forward, he could kick forward that far, which is pretty good. The leg does go back quite a bit, as you can see there. There is some... Oh, I got the leg falling apart on me a little bit, so hold on, let me pop that piece back in. There we go. Boom. Popped right back in. There is a little bit of thigh swivel, as you can see in there. You can get some turn. You don't get a full rotation, but you do get enough turn in there that's going to be able to work out for what you want it to do. Beautiful bend at the knee there, double joints, which is nice. Foot hinges down a little bit, hinges up slightly. There is toe articulation as well. It is a little stiff, but it is in there. And then one cool thing is this back ankle piece opens up a little bit, because if you want it to hinge down more, it's going to open up a little bit as it kind of comes to the back of the leg to really allow for some good movement there. But awesome articulation on this Iron Man figure. Like really good very surprising to me. It's just more, though, the details of everything in the sculpt work and all the battle damage is just super insane to me. And I love how far they've come in doing realistic actor likenesses for their head sculpts. I mean, fantastic. Great job, Mafex. Really, really impressed. So looking at some other pieces of accessories, we get a couple of blast effect pieces, and these are really nice, and these are actually surprisingly a pretty hard plastic, so you want to be careful. There's not a whole lot of give to these. You know, Marvel Legends ones are very flimsy. These guys are not. So you get two longer ones that actually have pegs that peg at the bottom of the feet, so you can actually have him where you get him into some flight poses, and he can, you know, he's blasted off at the feet, everything there, so that is really cool. And then the other two actually have peg holes because of an extra set of hands that he comes with. So we're going to get into the different hands. So out of the package, he's got the fists. We do get that extra arm that's got the infinity stones in the hand. And then we do get the snapping finger hand. We'll get a closer look at that as I swap that out a little bit later and then get him into his pose where he's just doing the whole I am Iron Man thing. One extra set of hands here is just kind of open hands for Iron Man. And then we get these two that are even more open. So these would be like the repulsor blast type hands. So we have one set that's regular. So his hands are just out with his fingers spread. And then we get the other one here. And then this one actually has pegs coming out of those hands because these ones are specifically going to use for these other blast effect pieces that actually are going to peg right on into the hand. So you could do the whole repulsor blast effect right onto the hands like so. Okay, so here is the I am Iron Man. Awesome moment from the movie, and the fact that with this particular action figure, we could really get him in that perfect I am Iron Man pose and moment from Avengers Endgame, which happened now over 5 years ago, which is crazy. But I love the fact that we could do this, and it looks so spot on from the movie. It is just amazing. Okay, so here is the full helmeted look on there. The helmet looks cool, but I think it's just something special about the Robert Downey Jr. Tony Stark head sculpt on there. You know, that's battle damaged, really being displayed on there. This looks good, but, you know, RDJ, gotta have him with that on. Okay, so side-by-side comparison here, we have the Iron Man Mark 85 and the Iron Spider. And I think the size difference from what we could see in the movie and how we have them here together, I think this is actually a really good representation scale-wise. Marvel Legends really won't put things into scale, but here, I think these two actually look really, really good together. Okay, so import figures tend to run a little bit smaller as they are quote-unquote true 1/12 scale. Regardless, here we have the Thanos Marvel Legends figure next to the Iron Man Mark 85. This size comparison, I think, is going to be fairly accurate. I think it's hard for me. I'm trying to understand. Thanos was a big guy. He might be a little tall. So it might be out of scale a little bit, but I think if you're looking for something in your display, you know, there's not a whole lot of import Thanos figures that you get. SH Figure Arts did do it. Mafex tends to not do any villains, although Winter Soldier's coming, so I guess we got that. I mean, they do comic villains, just not, like, movie-wise. In the MCU, at least. Wait, they did Loki. I guess anyway, here we have the Marvel Legends Thanos figure next to the Mafex Iron Man Mark 85 battle damaged. And of course, the Marvel Legends Iron Man Mark 85 with the snap finger. Just not quite the same. The details are not there on the Marvel Legends when you compare it to something like an import figure that is significantly higher in price. Absolutely, yes. So there is that going for it. But the details in the suit is just so much better. The articulation works out a whole lot better. The Robert Downey Jr. likeness, might even be better. We don't have the problem with this gigantic balloon head that Marvel Legends did to us. I mean, it's a very good Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt, absolutely, but it's a little big. It's quite big. It looks really good, but then Mafex, they really killed it on the RDJ likeness. I'm really impressed with what they did here. Again, the Mafex obviously is going to be the big winner here, easily. Okay, so again, big shout out and thank you to BigBadToyStore.com. Link in the video description below to pick up your Marvel Mafex number 195 Iron Man Mark 85 battle damage version from Avengers Endgame. Again, they just got in Captain America, the stealth suit version from Winter Soldier, and then Bucky Barnes himself, the Winter Soldier from Captain America, the Winter Soldier. So they just got those in. So Mafex figures for the MCU. Pretty awesome stuff. This is really my big first voyage into it. The Iron Man the Iron Spider figures, the Spider-Man figures are one thing, yes, but branching out beyond Spider-Man is new to me. So this Iron Man figure, what a way to kick it in, because this thing is absolutely incredible and now makes me scared, because now I'm going to want all of the Mafex MCU figures. They've done quite a few at this point. It would be like insanity to go back and circle back and try to get them all, but that might be something that I'm going to have to do. I'm on the fence when it comes to the Winter Soldier and the stealth suit Captain America. Might push me to go check it out. In fact, Plasti Addicto, I'll have a link to his YouTube down in the video description. He just reviewed the Captain America stealth version, so check that out. Obviously, it's going to be in Spanish, so you might want to just keep that in mind. But awesome figure, so might be something that I'm going to be looking to pick up. But you guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of this Iron Man figure? It has blown me away. Absolutely incredible figure. But you guys let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.